Hey there, it's Stacy. I wanted to do a stash video and share my homemade and some store-bought stash of cloth pads. So I'm gonna start with the first ones that I ever made. When I first started out, I didn't know if I was gonna like cloth pads, so I made some out of materials that I already had in my house. A long time ago, I had made some pajama pants and they didn't fit right, so I cut them up. I cut up the pajama pants and I made some cloth pads out of them, and then I used a towel, like I just sacrificed one of my hand towels for the interior. And I also, so the very first ones I didn't have PUL in them, which is polyurethane laminate. It's a waterproof type fabric. But then later on, my mom actually had some PUL that she didn't need from making cloth diapers for somebody. So this is the first pad that I made, and I got a free pattern, and it's like a boostable pad. So you have little inserts that you put into here. I think this one does have PUL. I think I actually made this at my mom's house. So I never really liked this style of pad. I used it a couple of times, but this one, it never gets used now. The inserts are just a layer of toweling and then flannel on both sides. So that's the first one, and that was from a free pattern that I found online. Somehow I just thought that the boostable type pad would be the one that I'd like, and I turned out to not like this one. The next one I did with no pattern, and it's kind of ridiculous. This one, I didn't have any PUL at home when I made this, and I didn't know how wide the wings needed to be, and somehow I thought that a really short pad would be just great. It ended up a little ridiculous. It just has one piece of toweling in the center. It still works. Like, as wonky as this pad is, I have still used it on occasion. So it just goes to show, like, if you start making your own cloth pads, don't be afraid of making some ridiculous wonky looking pads, because they'll still function. And I found that my skill increased the more pads that I made. So the next batch of pads that I made, I ordered some materials. I ordered some organic bamboo fleece for the cores, and I got a hold of some polyurethane laminate, or PUL, and I got some more flannel in some fun colors from the remnant bin at my local fabric store. I found some cute prints for like $1 for a yard, and because they were on clearance, and then the fabric was also on sale at the same time, so it ended up coming up really cheap. So this is from another pattern that I found online. I actually redrew it myself because at the time I didn't have a printer. So these ones, I made myself like a set of, I guess I'll just go through each one. I made a set of 8, and I put in a layer of PUL and some organic bamboo fleece, and that's it. And I actually stitched the core on, going all the way through the back, which they always say it's a no-no, but I've never had a problem with these ones leaking because my stitching doesn't go through the center of the back, it's on the wings. And that's to attach this core portion to the back. So when I made these, my seams are a little bit bulky. So they're not perfect, but they are trusty little pads, and I've used these these are like my main pads that I use. So here is one of the teacups, and I found a little scrap of bird fabric in my mom's stash, and it was just this tiny little strip, and I managed to get a pad out of it. And then there's flowers, and then cotton ponies, and then I guess I ordered some bamboo velour as well, and another little piece of that bird fabric. And then this one has a cute print. And then another. So most of this was all flannel that I got from the remnant bin. So I managed to make these pretty inexpensively, and this was like my first set that I was using. Next, I tried to redesign that and not have the stitching go through the wings. This is more of those pajama pants, and this was just really hard to do, so then I kind of gave up on that idea. And this is another one where I tried to have the core stitching hidden on the inside. That didn't end up being worth the effort, and this one's frustrating because I don't know which side to use. It's hard to tell. So then I made some what I thought were overnights. I made myself 3 of them. They've got POL inside the flannel. The back is flannel. They've got 2 layers of flannel on the inside with a layer of bamboo fleece. These aren't quite long enough for me for overnights, so I'm gonna have to make some more that are quite a bit longer. And this one, I made another one. I used an old sheet that had gotten torn and some more of the flannel that I got in the remnant bin, and then inside I put more flannel and then organic bamboo fleece for the core. And I didn't put any POL in this one because I wanted to try and see like if I really need POL all the time. So then I made another set with the upcycled sheet and the flannel on the back, and the core is flannel and organic bamboo fleece. And in the summer I found that the flannel got really hot, and so I actually liked the cotton, the woven cotton better. And this old sheet has been washed many times, so it made the fabric really soft. I do have a little trouble with staining since it is just a plain white, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. The next set, I made a bunch of panty liners. These are 7-inch, and I drew this up myself. I think they look kind of like gingerbread men, and they just have 2 layers of flannel on the inside, and then flannel on the back and flannel on the top. And these are great. I find these are great for light days. They work fine. And I also use them as panty liners, and I also use them when I'm exercising and there's a lot of jumping involved and I need something for stress incontinence. They're perfectly sufficient for that. I also made one of this pattern with the upcycled sheet. I really like the cotton top better because most of the year where I live it's very hot, and I just find that cotton topped works out better for me. Although the flannel tends to absorb really quickly, so there is a plus to that. The next pads in my stash are my sister-in-law traded pads that we made. So she made a minky topped, and then she did another one that's POL backed, and it's the cotton, it's just like a cotton, she used a pillowcase for the topper, and I use this one quite a bit. There's a little bit of staining on this one, so I'm kind of covering that, but it's more of a wrap style, and it's very thin. It's thinner than mine, so I like this one a lot. I found that I don't like the feeling of minky. I don't like the synthetic fabrics next to my skin. So then the next ones are store-bought pads, or, you know, I bought them on Etsy. So the first ones I got were from Party in My Pants. I got one of their mediums and one of their smalls just to try and see if I like this style. I don't know. I find that they slip around a lot. So these, I still use them all the time, but they're not my favorite pads. And I find that I only use the short one on very light days because when it slips, there's not as far for it to still catch anything. So I get a little nervous about that one. I've got some Yurtcraft pads, which I love. This is an 8-inch Yurtcraft. I find that I like this pad so much, I sort of like ration it. Like, I don't want to wear it out too quickly. I'm gonna have to get some more. This one's a moderate. Yeah, it has 2 stars there. And I find I like the moderate. I also got a heavy, or it's got 4 stars, so I think it's like a heavy ultra. I don't like this one as much. It's a little bit thicker. When I wash it, it takes longer to dry, but I still use it. I still like it. I just ordered a Thong Liner, and I haven't tried this one yet because I just got it. And then this is a Glad Rags liner that I got from one of their promotions where you pay for shipping and they send you a liner. This is a really breathable liner, and the flannel is decent quality. The flannel didn't pill as much as the Joann's fabric flannel that I got from the remnant bin. And then this is a Party in My Pants liner. I got the demi liner. I didn't know how wide I needed these, so I got the demi liner with extra snaps so that I could experiment. It turns out that I use this once in a while on like a light day, but I find as a liner, I don't like having the nylon on the back. It doesn't feel very breathable. So and this was from their free promotion where you pay for shipping. And then last I have a Precious Star pads, and I don't actually know what this is made of. And this is it's soft and it's floppy, and I like that about it, but it feels synthetic, and I don't like the synthetic feel next to my body. So I still use this one because it's a trusty little pad, but not as often. So I think that's it. I think that's my entire stash, and I'm getting ready to make some more out of materials that I have. I've actually used all of these for like a year. I kind of wish I had sewn more closer to when I had sewn these ones, because now I don't remember like the things that I learned and I'm gonna have to sort of relearn it. So I might practice on upcycled materials, but I mean, I don't know exactly how much it cost me to make all of these, but the first couple pads were out of materials that I had in my house. And I would encourage anyone to try making pads, because even when they come out looking a little wonky, they still work. So that's all I have for today. See you next time.